what's the best way to choose a power washer, pressure washer, whatever you want to call it? Stick around as we get into that in the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you on Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. To find out how you get your question answered on air, just stick around till the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. For more information on what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and support the hot list, hang out with me for a few and I will get you that information. So welcome everybody into the program. Thank you guys so much for listening, whether you are listening or watching this on Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, LinkedIn, hang on. Excuse me. LinkedIn, wherever you're listening to it, make sure that you share this out and share it with somebody that needs to hear this and might have some real estate questions. So send it to them, text message, DM, however you can get it to them. Make sure that you share this with them. So the property we are talking about today is a newly listed property. The address is 6663 East 213th Road in Quenemo, Kansas. So for those familiar, it's about 45 minutes away. It is just outside of Pomona Lake, which is one of the lakes that I show and sell around. This house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It's 1,388 square feet of finished space, currently listed for $253,000, courtesy of Eck Real Estate. So this is a ranch style house. I mentioned that it's close to Pomona Lake. It's just a few minutes away from the lake. This house has had a complete remodel from top to bottom. So some of the new updates include roof, siding, windows, doors, new paint, granite countertops in the kitchen. They've added an attached garage, sidewalks around the house, as well as a new septic tank and new laterals. While doing all this, they did go ahead and update a lot of the electrical work as well as the HVAC system. So make sure that you check this house out. It's newly listed, a very beautiful house. Click on the link in the description. It's going to take you right to my website so you can see the property for yourself. If you have any questions, let me know. If you are a pre-approved buyer and not currently working with another agent, make sure that you shoot me a message. Let me know. I would be happy to schedule a showing and take you out to see this property. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Schenkel Power Washing and Chimney Sweeping. It oddly enough actually tied into the question of the day, which I'm looking forward to. And just a reminder that, you know, John does not only chimney sweeping, but power washing as well. He also has a few other services that include washing, staining. He does some concrete acid staining as well as water sealing. So make sure you give him a call. I've included a link in the description that will take you right to his Facebook page. You can get his contact information up there, get a little more details as far as what all he offers, what type of services that he does, because he will clean your decks, siding, driveway, garage doors, and the exterior of your property. And it's just convenient enough that you, the homeowner, don't have to do it. You can just call him, schedule your appointment with him, have him come out, give you an estimate, which he does estimates for free. So make sure you call him. You can call him directly at 620-794-8430 and schedule your free estimate to have him come out and take a look. Doesn't cost you anything. So just give him a call and he'll get you rolling. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week for the hot list and supporting the hot list, shoot me a message or drop me a comment. I would be happy to have a little bit further in-depth conversation with you about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and support the hot list. Again, not everybody is a sponsor of the week. I do have to say no to a few people, unfortunately, and that's just because we don't see eye to eye and don't necessarily mesh well as a partnership. So just shoot me a message. We'll have a conversation and we will go from there. All right, so that is going to bring us to the question of the day, which is my favorite portion of the show. This is what I look forward to doing, and this is why I do the show, because the question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. So if you or somebody you know has a question about real estate, you're not sure where to start, I would be happy to be the real estate resource that you reach out to begin with, and just kind of start there to get the ball rolling. So question of the day, how do I choose a pressure washer? And this is a great question because now's the time to be thinking about this and looking, because winter's going to be given away soon to spring very, very shortly. And it's time to start thinking about how to clean up the winter mess that is on or around your house. You know, maybe there's some algae on the side of your house left over from the summer, maybe even the fall, some dirt, dust, maybe even some salt that's on the siding, maybe even the sidewalk, or whatever that black stuff is that's on your deck. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And when it comes that time, it's very similar to a store that is going out of business, right? You ever see that sign, everything must go? Well, when it comes to spring cleaning, that's really the same. And one of the best tools that you can get for these jobs is a pressure washer. As a disclaimer, before we get in too far, I do have to throw some words of caution about pressure washers. Hopefully y'all know, listening to this, that they can be dangerous. They're not a toy. It's not just a high-powered garden hose. There is some pressure behind it. Some of these units can actually send water out at 3,000 psi or greater, which in turn means that you can cause some injury to your extremities, or, God forbid, your property or your neighbor's property. All right, so we got the fine print out of the way. I got the disclaimer so people don't sue me. Now, what do you do to find out which works best for you? The general rule of thumb is the more water coming out at a higher PSI will do the job faster. Not better, faster. So today what we're going to talk about are 5 tips for choosing a pressure washer. Number 1, try before you buy. This is very similar to other tools, whether they be power tools, hand tools, whatever the case may be. It's important to try these before you purchase them, because you don't know if you're going to be able to figure it out, if you're even going to like it or have use for it again. So whether you rent one from a store, borrow one from a friend, pay attention to the GPM, which is the gallons per minute, as well as the PSI of the machine. This is going to give you kind of a baseline to start. If you like the results after renting it or borrowing it, maybe this is something good. So you just have to see, do you like the results? Does it seem like it's overkill? Is it simple enough to use and figure out? Questions like this are all going to help decide if this or any other pressure washer machine is going to be right for you. Number 2 on the list, err on the side of caution. As is typical with tools, you buy them for the widest functionality possible. With pressure washers, you're going to spend more time working away on the grime and whatever it is on your house or around your property with a lower powered unit. This is going to save you money potentially, and reduce the chance of injury to family because it's a lower power, lower pressure unit than what some of the more industrial or commercial grade are. So instead of jumping straight into a commercial grade or industrial grade unit, consider a higher end residential model and see if this will actually do the job that you're wanting to do. Number 3 on the list is go mobile. This is one of the best things, in my opinion, that you could do with a pressure washer, and because most pressure washers are portable. Whether you drag them where you want to go or they have wheels to kind of help follow you as you pull it, if you're going to do it, I would recommend opting for the wheels, because most of us have to move a lot because our house has more than one side. So makes sense. And with it's going to save you time, energy, as well as some trouble and some hassle, because you're going to get the job done faster than with one on wheels, and you're not having to, step or drag the washer with you each time you go to spray. Number 4 on the list, power and flow. Once you're going to start shopping, you need to pay attention to both the PSI and the GPM. Together, these numbers are going to tell you how powerful the unit is and how it's going to perform. For an average homeowner, a pressure washer will produce 2,000 PSI at 2 gallons per minute, which is generally enough to do the job that you want to do and want to get done. However, if you've got a lot of siding, maybe your house is 1.5 to 2 stories, or you have a large deck, you may want to opt for a unit that's 2,800 PSI or greater and at least 2, if not 3 gallons per minute unit. So just keep an eye out for that. And finally, number 5 on the list, that age-old question, gas or electric. Many of the lower end entry-level units are going to be powered by electricity. These are meant for easy, quick jobs around the house. Despite the lightweight and easy to start and get going, there's going to be some extra cord that you're going to have to haul around, and you're going to have to fight with it just like you're going to fight with the pressure washer hose. Heavier duty models are almost always going to be gas powered, and this means there's going to be some maintenance involved, similar to that of a lawnmower, even if you use it just once a year. So having said all of that, there are some other factors to keep in mind and take into account. I mentioned the maintenance. So that means you're going to have fresh gas in it. You can't leave the gas in it, or you'll have to treat it each time. There's going to be an oil change, spark plug maintenance to do. You're going to have to winterize it each and every year if you're in an area like Kansas where we have cold winters, because otherwise you risk damaging the pump. On top of that, you're going to have to store it. This is going to take up room in your garage. It's going to take up room in your shed. Do you have room to store it? Also, what about the hose and the wand? What if you lose the tips to the hose, or somebody steps on the hose or the wand and breaks it? You're going to have replacement there. Not to mention damage. If you're not prepared for the pressure that comes out of these things, there's a chance that you can kick up dirt or rocks onto the house, into some of the glass doors or windows around the house. If you get too close to the siding, depending on what you spray, how close you are to it, what type of nozzle you have on there, you risk the chance of damage and breaking the siding. Not to mention damaging the flower beds and plants around your house. And I don't know if you have a spouse like I do, but I damage her flowers. She threatens to damage me. So it's lose-lose for me. So you also have to keep in mind, are all of these factors worth purchasing something that you're going to use once, maybe twice a year? That is entirely your call. Or would you be better off hiring it out the once or twice a year that you know that you're going to need it? For me, You know, I'll be honest, I have enough bullshit stored in my garage and my storage shed to already maintain and has already taken up room. I would personally recommend calling John at Schenkel Power Washing. He's experienced, he's familiar with the equipment, plus he does free estimates. Free estimates. So he can call, set the appointment with you, come out and tell you what it's going to cost to power wash your deck, your siding, your driveway, whatever the case may be. So those are going to be the top 5 choices. Ultimately, what it's going to come down to is what you want to do and if you want to do the storage and maintenance of the machine as well. Because again, you don't do it right, you risk the chance of breaking the pump, damaging the unit, and then you just wasted whatever money that you spent on it. So ultimately, my personal advice would be to call John and have him come take a look at it. That is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out in the hot list today. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you back here for Red Friday. Take care.